Gun rights advocates are suing over a new law requiring safety courses before buying most semi-automatics. The Colorado chapter of the NRA argues the regulations will place an unlawful burden on gun owners. This law is set to go into effect next August. Republicans in the state House have asked the Trump administration to intervene and investigate whether that law is constitutional. Joining us now to answer our questions is 9 News legal analyst Whitney Traylor. I guess there's no surprise. It seems like every gun law that goes into effect is challenged in court.
Yep. Yes. No, this isn't really a surprise, but as I was saying earlier, I think this is actually a good thing. These are how our laws are actually developed. So the state legislature will pass a law, and then somebody who disagrees with it challenges the law, and then the courts determine whether or not it's constitutional. You know, I think the difference on these gun laws is that I think the Second Amendment folks are just so loud and adamant, but all of our constitutional rights, none of them are absolute. They all have exceptions. They all get challenged. They all have nuances. Yes. So this is, I think this is par for the course in a lot of ways.
So just break it down. Talk to us about the law that is being challenged specifically.
Right. So this law is, as I said, the state legislature passed it, and this is where you have to pass a number of classes. You have to take certain safety courses before you can purchase a semi-automatic with a detachable magazine. Now, also the folks who are selling it. So this applies to manufacturers, distributors, sellers. So even before they can sell it, and again, this is a semi-automatic with a detachable magazine, they have to also go through a certain course. And so it's not, in many ways, it's not that onerous. And I was reading some of the comments today, and even some of the gun advocates are saying, hey, this is just about safety.
Right.
And the more safety aspect, it's not that harmful. And I saw some of the press conferences, and they were saying, the folks who were against it, who filed this lawsuit, and they said, well, it's really, they were talking about the expense and the additional time. And really, it's not, I mean, this is part of the process when you're dealing with a very dangerous
You have to do it with a vehicle.
like a firearm.
You literally train for a vehicle and take a test and go through all the hoops to get a vehicle.
That's right, yeah.
I see what you're saying, 100%, and you think safety. Who would argue against that? Is it also them saying, though, in some respects, oh, once they get this, they're going to take another bite at that, and then they're going to do another thing here. So it's that whole looking down the road?
I think that's a big part of the argument is you just can't allow just even a little bit. You give an inch and they'll take a mile. But again, all of our, I mean, the Bill of Rights, the first 10 amendments, none of them are absolute. When you look at the First Amendment, the freedom of speech, your speech is not completely unabridged. They can regulate obscene and immoral speech, certain commercial speech, speech that's likely to incite lawlessness. With the Fourth Amendment, unreasonable search and seizure, that's not absolute. They can, in certain instances, search you without a warrant if it's an emergency situation, an automobile, you know, so all of the amendments do have some sort, it's just not absolute, and it shouldn't be. And so here, even with this Second Amendment, there's a big case in 2022 where the Supreme Court, a New York case, where the Supreme Court said New York couldn't make these requirements before somebody could get a concealed carry permit. And they said you had to show why you actually needed it. And the court said, no, that's too much. They deemed that to be unconstitutional.
That's too far.
But even in that ruling, which the gun advocates really highlight, even within that ruling, they said, well, you can still have certain special places that you can't carry a gun. So even where the court was saying, no, you have these constitutional rights to carry your weapon without a concealed carry, there's still locations, school, government offices, where you can't carry your weapon. So there's always going to be some level of restriction. I mean, it just has to be.
Yeah, it makes sense. We'll follow this one. Could go on for a while, like all of them.
Yes.
And the law doesn't take effect till August, so we'll emphasize that again.
Yes,
all
August of next year. Yep.
All right. Thank you, Whitney Traylor, as always.
Yep.